Hey guys, today I want to talk about something very important for all of us looking for jobs: how interviewers catch people who lie about their work experience. It's a big problem in India, so let's discuss it in detail. We all want to get good jobs, right? Sometimes we think if we add a little extra to our CV, we'll have a better chance. Maybe we say we know a software we don't really know, or we say we led a project when we only helped a little bit. But listen carefully, this is not a good idea at all. Job hunting in India is tough, no doubt about it, with over 1.4 billion people in India. And if you consider working age population, that is estimated to be around 950 million, and half of that are trying to compete for jobs, which is around 475 million people, which is crazy given the number of job openings we have. Sometimes it feels like the only way to get ahead is to exaggerate a little on your experience. But believe me, faking your experience is a recipe for disaster. So let's talk about how interviews catch people who lie on their CV and in interviews too. And if you're new here, I'm Sai Mocharla, currently based in Ireland. I currently work as a senior product manager at MasterCard with over 10 years of experience in the corporate world. And I have worked with companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, IBM, and some innovative startups too. My channel focuses on careers and finance topics, giving you practical tips to help you succeed. And if these topics interest you, please subscribe to my channel. Now let's jump into the topic and see how interviewers find out the truth. Number one, fake experience. Here's what you need to know. Interviewers don't come to the interview without preparation. They carefully read your CV before interviewing you. They also make important notes about things you've written on your CV. For example, if you mention that you've led some project at company X, they will start asking you what was the project you led, what was your contribution, did you succeed with it, and what were the KPIs. Now let's say you did work on a project but you only helped a little bit. In your CV, you wrote that you led the whole project to make it look good. Now in the interview, you might be able to explain what the project was about at a high level, but when they ask more questions like what exactly did you do or how did you measure success, you might start to fumble. You see, you can prepare answers for one or two basic questions, but when the interviewer keeps asking for more details, it becomes really hard to make up answers. If you really led the project, you would know all these small details. But since you didn't, you might start to hesitate or give confusing answers. This is how interviewers often catch people who exaggerate their role in a project. They ask many detailed questions that only someone who truly led the project would be able to answer easily. Number two, fake skill set. So let's suppose you're making your CV and you think everyone's talking about Tableau these days. Maybe I should add it to my skills. So you write proficient in Tableau for data visualization and analysis. But in reality, you might have only watched a few YouTube videos about Tableau and have never actually used it for any real projects. Here's how it might go in the interview. Interviewer might say, I see you're proficient in Tableau. We use it a lot here. Can you tell me about a project where you use Tableau? And then you might respond, yes, Tableau is great for charts and graphs. And then the follow-up question from the interviewer would be, could you explain how you'd create a dashboard showing sales trends by region over the last year? Then probably you might come up saying, open Tableau, import the data, and use bar charts and line graphs. Now the interviewer would come up with a tricky question. How do you handle outliers? Now you might say, I'd probably have to think about it. Then the next follow-up question to catch is, have you used calculated fields in Tableau? And then you say, I'm not sure if I remember that feature. And that's all. That interview is gone. In this scenario, the interviewer can quickly tell that the candidate doesn't have real experience with Tableau. They can't give specific examples, don't know key features, and can't explain how they'd approach a typical task in Tableau. This shows why it's very risky to claim skills you don't really have. And interviewers often ask detailed questions to check if you actually know how to use the tools you list on your CV. So always be cautious and honest when it comes to your skill set. Now, number three, inconsistencies between CV and your LinkedIn profile. Interviewers often cross-check your CV with your LinkedIn profile before they interview you. They look for consistency in job titles, dates of employment, responsibilities, and achievements too. If there are discrepancies, it raises a red flag even before they meet you. For example, if your CV states that you led a significant project at company X, but your LinkedIn profile lists you as a team member with no mention of leadership, this inconsistency is noticeable. Such a mismatch can also make the interviewer suspicious of the validity of your claims. And here's what typically happens. If your CV says you were a project manager for 2 years, but your LinkedIn profile shows as a project coordinator for only 1 year, the interviewer will definitely question your honesty. And if your CV highlights major responsibilities and achievements that are not mentioned on LinkedIn, it suggests exaggeration. For instance, claiming to have managed a team on your CV, but having no mention of team management on LinkedIn, These inconsistencies can be a red flag against you and can lead interviewers to question your overall credibility. And as a result, they might prepare to scrutinize your claims more closely during the interview, putting you in a difficult position if your experience is fake on your CV. And being caught in such situations can also damage your reputation and reduce your chances of getting hired in future as well. And always ensure that your CV and LinkedIn profile are accurately reflect your true experience and achievements. And number 4, fake references. Providing fake references is another common issue that can easily raise red flags during the hiring process. Interviewers and hiring managers will definitely take time to verify references as part of your hiring process. And here's how they can spot inconsistencies and why it raises concerns. The interviewer would ask, can you provide references from your last job at company X? And you provide your reference contact. And then the interviewer will get in touch with them. And this is what they find out: different job titles. Suppose you mentioned that John is your manager, but John's LinkedIn says he's a team lead and not a manager. And then lack of details as well. For example, John doesn't know about the projects you mentioned on your CV, which is again a red flag. And there could also be verification issues. Company X HR doesn't list John as a manager at all. Now, these inconsistencies suggest the reference might be fake, raising doubts about your overall honesty. Number 5, fake documentation. Submitting fake documents can quickly blackmark you from an organization, even for future roles if caught. And here's how interviewers catch them. Number 1, verification calls. Interviewers often contact your colleges or past employers to check if your documents are real. And if the college or company has no record of you, it's a very big red flag. And another reason is by looking at the document details. They look at the details that you've submitted, and if it has some odd formatting, fonts, or signatures, it might easily be spotted as a fake document. They also do cross check. They compare your documents with your CV and LinkedIn. If dates of job titles don't match, it can also look suspicious. But seriously, out of all, this is the most silliest mistake you can do. Usually, documents are verified after you clear all your interview rounds and during the employee verification process. Let's suppose they find that you submitted a fake document or a fake certificate and catch that during the verification stage. Now, all the time and effort you put in to get that job is really gone wasted for a very silly reason. What's even more disappointing is I know some people who are into their jobs 2 to 3 months and suddenly their company figures out that their college degree is fake and they're fired and blacklisted immediately. This is the worst way to kill your career outright. Please don't do this, guys. List whatever your academics are genuinely and don't try to fake this. I know it's tempting to lie sometimes. Maybe you really want the job or you're worried you're not good enough. But trust me, it's always better to be honest. You might think, but what if I don't get the job? Well, it's better not to get the job than to get caught lying later. That could really hurt your career. Now, instead of lying, focus on the good things you have done. Talk about what you learned in college or any part time jobs or internship work you have done. Even if you don't have much experience, being honest and showing you're eager to learn can definitely impress interviewers. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. It's okay not to know everything. And what's important is being truthful and showing you're ready to work hard and learn. And that's all for this video, guys. Please do drop in the comment section if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.